Throughout our lives, we make several decisions for our self development, but these decisions are often hampered by self doubt. Highly qualified professionals think they're not competent enough to ask for a raise or a promotion, fearing they won't be respected by their peers. A person who wants to switch jobs to escape a toxic environment doubts their ability to succeed in a new workplace. An expert in a field dreads presenting their material, convinced they'll fumble and make a fool of themselves. A shy person struggles with networking, believing they won't add value to a conversation. An aspiring entrepreneur hesitates to launch a business because they fear they're not smart enough or will fail miserably. A content creator keeps re-recording themselves, never feeling the content is good enough to be posted. There are countless examples of people feeling like they don't belong in a certain space or believing they don't have what it takes to become the best in their field. Many attribute their success to luck rather than their hard work. Are you one of them? Do you believe that you can't achieve something because it's either too late, or you're not qualified enough, or people will never accept you as someone different from who you are now? So many people live by the unspoken limits of society. They stay within boundaries to remain accepted while crushing their own aspirations and dreams. Sheryl Sandberg, former COO of Meta, also known as Facebook, once revealed that when offered the job, she doubted if she was truly qualified. Even she felt she was not a good fit. She almost didn't take the position because she thought, what if I fail? So in today's episode, we'll try to understand why we often avoid risks or challenges in pursuit of societal acceptance. And for that, we must also explore the root of self-doubt and why it holds us back. Let's talk about the 5 key factors that make us doubt ourselves. So the number one reason is not taking enough risk early in our life. One of the biggest reasons we experience self-doubt is that we rarely test our abilities to withstand challenges. I remember when I was a kid, I would often take on small home improvement projects, and completing them gave me an amazing sense of achievement. Even though I didn't know much about the task beforehand, I would invest time and effort into learning and making sure I finished the job. Before starting any project, I always doubted myself too. But my desire to prove that I could do it with some guidance was strong enough for me to get started. Over time, I started taking on bigger home improvement challenges. And with each completed task, my appetite for taking risk grew bigger. This experience shaped my mindset early in life, teaching me that how we approach challenges determines our growth. When we avoid taking risks, we become comfortable letting others making decisions for us. There may be various reasons why people avoid risk, but ultimately, it impacts our confidence in the real world and leads to constant self-doubt. Those who take small risks regularly learn from their challenges. They begin to trust their efforts as they see results, and they stop attributing everything to luck. Imagine that you're a content creator who posts a video on YouTube, hoping and praying that this one post goes viral overnight. Sure, that might work in another dimension, but not in the one that we live in. In this reality, success comes from consistency. Even if your initial videos don't get any traction, each one will teach you something new. And by improving just 1% each time, you get closer to your goals. People who take risks begin to internalize the fact that anything worth achieving lies on the other side of the hard work. Overcoming small challenges builds the mindset required to believe in yourself and your ability to make things happen, ultimately leading to a greater success in life. Second key factor to self-doubt is seeking validation. For almost everything we do in life, we seek validation from friends, peers, family members, or even strangers on social media. Instead of trusting our own capabilities, we become reliant on external reinforcement. We shift away from believing in hard work and effort, placing more weight on others' opinions about our decisions. Most people seek advice or validation when they lack a clear idea of how to pursue their goals. What they don't realize is that clarity comes from action, not from sitting on the sidelines. Imagine you want to learn how to swim, but because of your age, you are afraid of making a fool of yourself. What do? Instead of just diving in, you go around telling people about your plan to take swimming lessons. If no one encourages you, or worse, they discourage you, you might end up never doing it. But what if instead you simply signed up for a pool membership and practiced every day? By improving just 1% each time, you would likely master the skill you once doubted yourself on. Validation kills ideas at their inception. When you have a goal or an idea, limit who you discuss it with. Ideally, just 1 or 2 trusted people. That's it. Therefore, choose them wisely. Ask yourself, do they have knowledge in this field that I'm curious about? Can they add real value to the discussion? If not, keep your goal to yourself and take action. Your results will be your validation. Now let's move on to the third key factor in self-doubt: negative self-talk. Every time you say, I can't do this, guess what? You're absolutely right. And every time you say, I don't know how to do this, but I will learn and figure it out, your brain immediately gets to work, finding ways to make it happen. This process is known as neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to change and adapt throughout life by forming new neural connections. And in very simple terms, it means you're never stuck being the way you are. You can reshape your mind at any age by consistently engaging in positive mental and physical habits. But when we don't believe in ourselves and engage in negative self-talk, we reinforce the idea of inability. There's a famous quote: those who believe they can and those who believe they can't are both absolutely right. Negative self-talk often occurs in our minds as a way to shield us from the pain of potential failure. It's our brain's defense mechanism against the perceived threat of embarrassment. Think about it. You feel like you won't do well on an upcoming exam, so you convince yourself you're not smart enough. You tell yourself you don't deserve a promotion because you're not the right person for the job. After facing a few setbacks, you start believing that maybe you're just not cut for the success. You keep procrastinating out of fear, avoiding challenges rather than facing them. And you assume you don't deserve leadership positions because you struggle with communication skills. Now here's the thing. I can understand if the world doesn't believe in your abilities. Maybe you haven't proven yourself to them yet. But when you stop believing in yourself, your entire inner world starts to crumble. Your growth, success, and potential all depend on your belief and the positive energy you bring to your goals. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." The biggest battles are fought within, long before they're ever fought outside. Let's move on to the fourth factor of self-doubt: evolutionary psychology, survival instincts. In our primitive past, failing to conform to societal norms posed a significant risk. Those who deviated from the group were seen as threats to its safety. The outliers could lead others into unfamiliar territory, potentially endangering the entire group with untested methods. Now, to maintain the order and security, these individuals were often kicked out of the group, and being cut out of the group jeopardized the individual's survival. So why would someone risk being different? And thousands of years later, this fear of rejection still resides in our DNA, driving us to unconsciously stick with the societal norms in order to avoid exclusion. The fifth and the last factor for self-doubt is past rejections. Just like negative self-talk can hinder our belief in our abilities, past rejections and failures can deeply impact our confidence as well. Sometimes these setbacks cause us to question whether we have what it takes to succeed in something we care about based on past disappointments. But this belief is completely baseless. There's a well-known saying, when we try something new, we either succeed or learn. Failure only occurs when we stop trying. The fact is, every rejection leaves behind a trace of pain and embarrassment. To shield us from this discomfort, our brain develops a defense mechanism by creating avoidance behaviors. It builds doubt in our abilities and reminds us of previous experiences. When we encounter emotionally charged situations, our brain records a snapshot of that event to protect us from a similar outcome. So when we plan to face the same situation where we once experienced failure and shame, the amygdala in our brain is activated, releasing defensive hormones like cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline to guard us from what it perceives as a threat. But in reality, there's no actual danger, just a past experience that left a lasting impression. The best way to overcome these feelings is by acknowledging the setbacks, understanding the valuable lessons learned from the experience, and recognizing how it improves our chances of success the next time. Instead of seeing it as a failure, reframe it as a feedback and growth. Challenge your negative thoughts by asking yourself, is this belief based on facts or fear? And try to remind yourself of the times you have succeeded in the past, shifting your focus from the setback. Remember, the only way to move forward is through action. And the more action you take, the weaker your self-doubt becomes. Self-doubt happens to everyone, even the most accomplished individuals. The difference is that successful people take action despite the doubt. If you really want to break free from self-doubt, start by collecting small wins, reframing your negative thoughts, and reminding yourself that you belong in the spaces you aspire to be in. You have been a wonderful listener. Thank you for being here today. I hope you learned something new, and I hope to support me, you will like and subscribe this page today. Thank you.